I guess there comes a time when the end of the season, it's time to replant and save seeds and stuff. And Patrick, how have you found this year so far already with summer and the bloom in June?
Well, we had a beautiful year on the whole, except maybe for about 3 weeks, but we haven't had very much rain at all. Um, but you said about planting, this is not the time for planting, this is the time for a gathering of the seed. There is a time to be born and a time to die, and this is the new generation in seed form. Uh, it's just like we come from seemingly nowhere into somewhere, and these seed are the promise of tomorrow, and I'm saving them so that I can uh, regenerate the plant with new sprouts and new growth in the springtime, and this is the time to save the seed, and that's exactly what I'm doing now, so as I can have beautiful flowers in the springtime.
I guess the appreciation, the love, the passion that you have for all things that are natural and all things that are within our spirit around with nature and that, like, not a lot of people get to appreciate that. But then again, everything that you have here, Patrick, is all full of love, full of care, full of attention, and the passion and love that you have for that, it's just incredible. And where did you get that?
Well, some of it is probably genetic, and some of it is due to cultivation of one's own spirit, because one can readily ascertain, if one wishes to look for it, the fact that we are a part of nature, we're not apart from it. Um, we in ourselves are a seed for another growth in another year, and we bloom into the full harvest of our being through death. And that's what's going on in nature. If you'll notice here in the center, my place is called Anam Cara, and it means soul friend. It's from the ancient Irish Christian tradition, and soul friend. It means that nature is a friend of the souls, a soul, and we can be nature to each other if we become fully alive. We become, we lace love with life or life with love. That's the cycle that's going on, and the human person is in the center in the house. And then on one side, I have all the chickens and the animals down on the other side there, and on this side I have all the plants. And everything is interrelated and interconnected. That's the main message of life. And unfortunately, in our present culture, um, we're all separated through the bloody economy. That's all that's important. And God is left out of the process. And therefore, we have no absolute. We have no containment of the sea for the drops of our being. And that's, that's my theology of life. And I'd like this little place to be remembered as a person, as a place that reintegrates and brings people in contact with what they really are as parts of a whole.
I,
God is the whole and we are the parts.
I guess, like, for everybody that know you, Patrick, the love and care and the very unselfish work that you do, you know, you put everyone else first, nature first, wildlife, everything else comes first. You've got great love, compassion, heart for everybody who's in need. You've helped everybody. You've been there for everybody. And I guess your final few words of wisdom after the coronavirus is after, well, hopefully um, easing its source, that people have more time for each other. And I think, in an essence, that's what you're all about, time and time for people.
Absolutely. I don't know. I'm, as you said yourself, I'm a kind of OCD or whatever you call it. I'm obsessed. But I think in order to love God, you have to be obsessed. And I do believe there is a purpose and there is a direction, despite all the garbage that we go through. If you can hold firm with the belief that life is not random, it doesn't come about by chance. It's too mysterious and too beautifully kept together in order to dismiss the possibility of a God. There is at least as much of a possibility that there is God as there is a possibility that there may be no God. But the thing of it is, I'd rather make a wager on the side of meaning and purpose than on the opposite. So, to say economy is the content of life, it's absolutely ludicrous because we all have to die. And, I'm an old man now, in a lot of pain with my bones and my arthritis and my diabetes and everything. So I know firsthand what suffering, physical suffering is. And I'd rather have meaning for it. If you can surrender to it and accept it, then that's the greatest spirituality of all, is to let go and just let God be, and you're his child.
And Patrick, on a final note, I just want to say, from the bottom of all our hearts, thank you so very much for everything that you've done for us all. And I speak for an awful lot of people. The care, the love, everything you've given to everybody, putting everyone first. And thank you so much for your words of wisdom today. And most importantly of all, thank you for being a special part of our lives.
Thank you. You're a good man yourself.
Thank you, sir.
It's very self-giving, and I would say one of the innocents in our midst, in a world that's gone mad with
Technology and social media.
Smart technology. They're encouraging, I just heard on the news this morning, where they're encouraging all English people, I don't know about this country, but to get in the smart meters. And that's all entrapment, because the more smart meters they get in, the more control they have over you. And it's all about surveillance. The people of the earth who are just interested in corporate money and corporate profit, they really want most of us gone so that they can control the environment and have it for themselves. And that's what's coming. They're going to control the food next. You'll see.
And Patrick, I'll say thank you very much for today. And if anybody ever gets a chance, I think up here, especially up in Patrick's, up in Anamcara and Killy, it would do your soul the world of good to come up and just spend the time reflecting and retreating, and to turn off any social media or whatever phones you had and just have a look at this wonderful place.
Yeah.
That this great
Could you
man.
go out and take a picture of the whole place?
Yeah, I'll go around and say thank you so much, sir.
Well, get the house with the flowers, especially.
I will indeed.
And you move and get a long shot here. Go in on the flowers.
Yep.
If you could get a long shot. Go horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah. And so on a final note, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If we look at the Irish high crosses or the megalithic tombs scattered all around Ireland. The circle of stones like we see at Stonehenge. They're over here too. At Newgrange, everything is circular, and that came from pagan times. In a way, the seed reminds us of something that's circular. We came from nothing that we know of. We have no recognition of the time before we were, and we don't know where we're going either. But the little seed, if you'll see, they're round, and while most of the language, spiritual language in life, it's always kind of mystical. The symbolism of the little round seed here is indicative of our own process in life. You know, the fact that we go round and round, and we go back to where we came from. And that's what the seed is telling us. The plant grows all summer long, and spring likewise, and bursts into new life in the spring, and then all through the summer it creates these little seed on the stem of its life. And through this seed there is a promise, and we're the seed. There is a time to be born and a time to die.
Beautiful words, Patrick. I suppose like you with the seed there now, like winter is not far away, but they'll be coming into their own come springtime. And
That's
what are
right.
what is your thoughts on that?
When we put them into the right kind of soil, that's why we have to have bear responsibility for our own lives. We're answerable to God, and I think God is experimenting with us in a way. You know, for every invitation, that's what God does. God does not compel us. God invites us. And we're invited to bring out what is highest within our psyche and to reach for what Jung calls the overman. Nietzsche calls it the same thing. It's because we're steeped in mediocrity and don't have the right vision that we cast ourselves upon the poor soil that Jesus spoke about in the Gospels, and we shoot up and we grow for a while, and then we just wither and die.
Beautiful. And I just want to say, as regards those seeds and the wonderful plants they have here, I'm just going to focus in. If you'd like to say a little,
Here,
something about
look at them close.
Yeah, I'm just zooming in here now on some of the beautiful plants and flowers that you have here. So I will zoom in and here on your seeds.
Yeah, get some of them up there too.
Yeah. And there we have it. It's absolutely beautiful. Now,
Okay.
Patrick, thank you very, very much today, and you've given us a lot of food for thought.
Okay.
And we all certainly appreciate your presence, your knowledge, and your care. And yeah, on a final note, if you'd like to say something.
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. I thought you were finished.
Thank you very much for today.
Okay.